I'm Shubhadha Iyer. The topics I'll be discussing, my thought leadership achievements. I'm going to introduce and explain what my book, Ideas in People Management, written and published online in 2013 is about. And I'll discuss some more ideas not part of the book but separate in areas related to HR and people management. In March 2002, while in the US, I commissioned and prepared part of a business plan titled Private Unemployment Insurance based on the idea for such a product. Then I published and promoted the biz plan online, later reformatting it as a white paper. The plan and paper were read by large sections of the business community. Among other points, the business plan that I initiated in 2002 comprehensively argued the pros and cons of unemployment insurance, that's UI, presenting clear insights into the market opportunity in this space. The idea I presented through this paper was actually a revival that raised awareness of the current day feasibility of private UI as a product. This is no doubt an extremely important initiative of mine from way back in 2002, on which I have dedicated a separate online presentation that was published even before my book, so I won't elaborate here. But I should mention that my business plan proposed two components. One, the core private UI product, and second, the idea for a specialized career services and placement network that was meant to work together with the private UI. More about the second component in the final slide, as it relates in some ways to people management. My writing on IT and business analysis has also been read by many over the years. For example, application of fault tree analysis for automated troubleshooting in IT, analytical services, business analysis, but I'll skip the details here. What's in scope is my writing in people management. That's another important area I wrote extensively on to raise awareness of since around 2004, and I've consolidated all my blogs and ideas into an eBook back in 2007. The 2007 book was just a creative experimental format, but it had a few chapters that recognized important aspects of people management, including decision making. It also stressed a scientific approach in management. That book was not meant to be a management book as such, nor did it have the focused solutions, but it did set a roadmap for the book that followed much later. And so in 2007, just a few months after writing this first book, I had to take up a job as DGM in the field of IT and shared services. The DGM project I did was one of the most interesting projects I've done. Of course, it involved management tasks, all of which I worked on successfully, but it just happened to be in a domain-specific role. As a result, I forgot my generalist people management theories for a while. I did not get to develop my ideas at the time. Later, as I worked on a spate of other domain-specific projects, it got postponed further. It was only the latter half of 2013 that, with a few months gap on my hands, I managed to get my people management solutions together and revisit the generalist mode after so many years. The result is my latest book, Ideas in People Management. My interest in management consulting began 20 years ago. I'm interested in both generalist and domain-specific management theory and practice. The generalist writing involved some approaches that I evolved on my own. Over the years, I had forcefully argued the importance of developing a number of areas. My activities have so far helped to set strategic guidelines in industry, raise awareness of important concepts, and lend a strong voice that added to progressive trends. My initiatives were also taken well in time for the improvement cycles that happened in some of these areas, especially over the last decade in the corporate world in India. In general, solutions for placement and career development have been a favorite theme of my writing. A well-known idea of mine is candidate-driven placement, that is, a model for individually focused placement services. In 2011, my online blog on this topic had over 25,000 views, and the content has now been moved to my 2013 book. There are a few such areas where I've moved my blog content to my book just to consolidate all my ideas, and that forms about 25% of the content. Most of the solutions in the book are new. My 2007 book stressed the importance of decision making in people-related areas, arguing for clinical ways to measure management effectiveness and quality, managing environmental factors, and finally also argued the need for advanced management solutions. To improve areas in the management of people, what are the places we would first look? To answer this, I have pinpointed 3 areas that are critical as KRAs for management improvement. Decision making is one of them. You'll find the other 2 in the book. People management is a specialized field. Moreover, I regard it as an extensible superset where more solutions can be developed. The objective is to apply focused techniques from people management to existing people-related areas that need to be defined better. Under key challenges, I have discussed a number of issues, for example, the need for optimizing the talent supply chain and various other challenges in the management of workplaces. I have also discussed certain management practices that work very well in current work and business environments. This book is meant for management practitioners and those interested in advanced management theory, business leaders, and in general, anyone into management theory or practice. Countless management books have been written, of course, of which many are rightly regarded as classics. I may not have acquired that level of expertise in my writing, but I'm glad to say I was able to come up with some concrete solutions. I've provided enough thinking material for the next decade. My ideas are presented in a nuts and bolts consultative style. It's meant to be a tough book to make people think about different aspects of management. New theory is at a hypothesis stage. Those solutions can be considered simple and accurate enough for real application. It's not restricted to any particular geography or environment. The solutions are generic and fundamental enough. There is no research data, but plenty of case examples and scenarios, and of course many solution models, 5 more in addition to objective decision models that deal with different aspects of management. Shown here are just 5 topics. The book has 14 chapters in all. The quality view is a central important theme in my book. The argument that it's a challenge to track and manage the in-practice effectiveness of a management process or system, which means methods to compare actual versus expected effectiveness are definitely required. And to maintain such standards at the industry level, we need indices. I've suggested a list of indicators for such an index in the field of people management that could be based on a categorization of management functions. Solution models and frameworks form more than half the book content. To arrive at these solutions, I've followed a systematic process of first theoretical arguments and then presenting the new concept. There are numerous discussions on topics such as management innovation, but I've tried to minimize discussions that come across as my views. The idea is to prompt intelligent thought and focus on areas of improvement, not force opinions on the reader. So in case I've forwarded what sounds like an opinion, in most cases I've included logical counterpoints and counter-arguments. A process of validation and debate is of course essential before any first concept can be finalized, and I've provided part of the validation here. In the past 10 years, I myself have been in a position to manage workplace situations as part of general management or as part of project management or for driving the work through multiple teams. There wasn't a single time that my project did not get done well or just gave into inertia or hit a roadblock and just stayed there. And I definitely always made sure it was headed in the optimal direction. Invariably, people management involves robust decision making, accurate assessment, and analysis. This book provides some methods to achieve optimized decision making and a host of other management best practices. Like many management consultants, I have been fascinated by the type of firm and resilient foundations that fields like OB and OD provide. So between my first book, the one with the questions, and this book, the one with the answers, I happily absorbed many pages of OB and OD, and these are the building blocks for some of the new theory and solutions I formulated here. I've also incorporated elements of psychology. Advanced psychology courses that I took in undergrad college, that is 1983 and 1984, triggered an interest in the field, and though I'm not a specialist, I have incorporated elements of it. One of the premises of my arguments in 2013 is that even micro-level solutions applied to resolve problems in the workplace can create a tangible value add. There are solutions in my book, therefore, that deal with organizational change, but not all of my solutions are at a strategic level, some are at a micro level. Most importantly, it's about making such progressive methods readily available so they can be applied in work environments. My 2002 plan on private UI proposed an insurance product in the category of private unemployment insurance aimed at providing funds and career resources for people facing between job situations and other career contingencies. As a key differentiator, it would be offered through private organizations. The business plan provided an overview of the market opportunity, highlighting its potential benefits in 2002. Now, about my latest idea, a financial product that provides coverage for expenses related to career and placement services for working professionals. That is, we're talking more specialized career services and a host of other benefits, for example, training. Essentially, this is the second part of my 2002 private UI plan that I've taken up now, recently developed and packaged into a distinct product design. I've had an interest in the insurance domain, mainly P&C and health insurance, for many years now as an IT BA, and often find myself seeking project work in this field. So now I've applied my innovative thinking for designing a product in this space, and as the inventor have just recently filed a patent application for it. While many other solutions for re-employment may have been suggested over the years, this is one solution from the insurance viewpoint, and of course it involves career services. There are different formats to offer this product as an add-on to a core insurance product like private UI or another product, or it can be offered on a standalone basis by itself, and all these scenarios have been outlined in my product design along with the main features and benefits. Research and assessment will have to be done to customize the product for a specific geography or environment. I can be consulted for further details on this product and will be happy to answer any queries. The reader will find far more specialized solutions in my book, but for now, here are some simple ideas just off the top of my head. Based on these ideas, I can certainly present a more detailed plan and product design to answer these requirements as well if I get a chance to talk to corporate authorities about it. That's something I've been trying to do for a while. I have taken many initiatives over the years above and beyond my project work as a creative and strategic thinker. That said, it's also the right time to pause and say that I don't want to go off at a tangent with my own initiatives and keep shooting off with my own ideas. Beyond a certain point, that doesn't make any sense. A highly innovative and versatile consultant never runs out of ideas, whatever the domain, but to be full of one's own ideas, that's totally boring, and it's a pitfall I want to avoid. I'd like to take on challenging work assignments and respond to existing work requirements, doing what I'm good at, providing solutions in IT, business and management. I'm looking for career growth with responsibilities that include management or management consulting at some level. And for that, I need to be commissioned. I look forward to applying my outstanding strategy, process and organizational skills in business and IT domains. For a visionary consultant like me who's thought about areas like placement, HRMS, career services and people management for over a decade, there are exciting areas like job creation that offer challenges to think up even more macro-level solutions. It's an area I'd surely like to contribute some ideas in. But again, so as not to keep working in a vacuum and sounding off with my own ideas, I'll just wait this time for some comments and feedback on what I've done so far. I hope people read and like my book. If any questions for me on the management front, I'll be glad to answer. I can be contacted with feedback, questions and even criticism as long as it's politely worded.